listeners, and welcome to episode 102 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. Me, your host, Olu. And boy, do we have another bumper episode as club football has returned over the past weekend. We had goals from all our usual suspects. Victor Osimhen scored a bicycle kick. Victor Boniface scored yet another winning goal for Bayer Leverkusen. Samuel Chukwueze scored his first goal for AC Milan this season. We even saw Aribo getting in on the goals, and Arokodare continuing his good form to the season for Genk, who remain first in the Belgian League. So without any further ado, let's dive into it, start with the Premier League as usual. So in the Premier League, what did we see? Alex Iwobi and Bassey both played 90 minutes, but Fulham got outclassed by Aston Villa 3-1, to be honest. It wasn't their best performance, and it's one of those games where Aston Villa kind of showed their credentials as being ready for that top four battle. So they came fourth last year, and we might have thought that, the Champions League might make things a bit tricky for them this year. But my word, those are the kind of games that you crank out a victory. And Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers were very, very good in this game. So unlucky for Fulham, but they remain ninth, which is not the end of the world. They'll dust themselves up and they'll go again. But Aston Villa was just a bridge too far for them. So next up for the Fulham boys, they play Everton away on Saturday. So that's a game that they would expect to do better. Although Everton have begun to get some form in the season so far. The Nottingham Forest boys play tonight. I'm recording this on Monday morning. It's 12 o'clock at the moment. So we'll see Aina definitely start tonight for Nottingham Forest. They play Crystal Palace at home. And then let's see if Taiwo can get some minutes off the bench. Next up for them, they also play on Friday night. So there's going to be a Friday night game this week. Friday night, whereby Leicester City will be hosting Nottingham Forest at the King Power Stadium. So Nigeria versus Nigeria. So really exciting one. Speaking of Leicester, Ndidi did play 90 minutes in Leicester's 3-2 win over Southampton on Saturday. Very, very dramatic game, it must be said, because Southampton were 2-0 up in this game, including a goal from Aribo, which was nice to see, his first goal of the season for Southampton. But Southampton, man, they just don't know how to play defensively. They don't know how to hold on to leads. And for you to be the home team and one of your relegation rivals comes back from 2-0 down to win the game 3-2, courtesy of a last-minute winning goal from Torunarigha. I know the Ghanaians must be upset because he never seems to play well for the national team. But Torunarigha, man, what a survivor. Very, very good performance from... Also, Fatawu played well in this game, and Ndidi continues to play well. So shout out to the Leicester boys. They're now up to 14th. So next up for them, they'll play Nottingham Forest on Friday. So let's see how they get on in that game. And I already spoke about Aribo getting a goal in that same game against Leicester City. So hopefully he can build on that performance and force his way back into the Super Eagles. If Alassane Yusuf can get called up for the Nigerian national team playing for an MLS side, then Aribo starting games in the Premier League. Yes, it's for Southampton who have been dog shit, but Aribo is showing signs of life again and being the player that we know wore the number 10 shirt very well for Nigeria for the first few years of his Super Eagles career. Next up for Southampton, though, it's literally the hardest game possible they could play. On Saturday, they go away to the Etihad to play Manchester City, so we might as well just consider that one an automatic loss for the Southampton boys. But hopefully, Aribo will at least play well. One thing I also wanted to call out is Paulo Onuachu did come off the bench in this game. So initially, we thought Onuachu would end up moving, but no transfer materialized, and we initially thought he might be a sub-bench player for Southampton, but it's good to see him getting minutes. At the moment, he's coming on for Cameron Archer, and I think they got Cameron Archer starting at the moment, but we also know they have Ben Brereton Diaz. I would like to see Paulo Onuachu do some more. We know he's done it well. He's done very well in the really shit leagues when you think of their level compared to the Prem, but now he's stuck in Southampton at least till January. Hopefully he can get some more minutes and opportunities to show what he could do. So look out for that one when it comes to Paul Onuachu. Other fixtures to be aware about: the Saturday lunchtime kickoff. Tottenham thrashed West Ham 4-1. I feel so sad for Mohamed Kudus, man. What a player. He scored the goal for West Ham as well, but West Ham just look dog shit. Every time they go against David Moyes, this thing happens to them. They always think they're bigger than their boots. Oh, we want to be playing all this nice, fancy, flashy football. Oh, we won the Conference League title 2 years ago, and we got to the Europa League semi-final or quarter-final. So we think we should be pushing on. So let's get Moyes out. Even though David Moyes has literally been responsible for the 3 best years they've had in a long, long time. So be careful what you wish for on West Ham. I have very, very capped sympathy for West Ham. But Tottenham looked pretty good, to be honest. West Ham was shambolic defending-wise. So that is that. In the 3 p.m. kickoffs, you saw Manchester United beat Brentford 2-1. Pretty good win for Man United because they've been struggling. We saw Højlund score in this one. Who scored the winning goal? Iheanacho scored first and then Højlund scored the winner. So good performance from them. Newcastle, man, it's going to be a very tricky season for them. They lost at home to Brighton 1-0. Danny Welbeck scored again before he got injured. So really good performance from Welbeck and Brighton. They continue to soar, man. Brighton are now up to 5th in the league. So really good performance from them. They've won 4 of their first 8 games. 3 p.m. kickoff games. We also saw Everton beat Ipswich Town 2-0 away. So shout out to Everton. That's a big result. You have to beat the teams that are worse than you. And then 5:30 kickoff. My Arsenal lost 2-0 to Bournemouth. Very, very disappointing game for us. Saliba got red carded in, I think, the first 30 minutes. Woeful pass back from Leandro Trossard. Trossard's very lucky that he scores these goals because his general gameplay is absolutely nonsense, man, sometimes. It's not Arsenal level. And same thing he did. He put us in trouble against Man City. Now he puts Saliba in trouble against Bournemouth. And of course, what happened? Bournemouth ended up winning the game. Ironically, scoring a corner kick against us before scoring a penalty to make it 2-0. Yesterday on Sunday, we saw Man City score a last-minute winner by John Stones to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1. So really good win for the champions. And then Liverpool also beat Chelsea 2-1. It was a really, really cracking game for the weekend. Chelsea looked pretty decent, I must say. Jackson scored again. But of course, Liverpool with a bit too much. Salah scored a penalty. And then Curtis Jones was probably his best performance in Liverpool shirt in a long time, if ever, scoring the winning goal to make it 2-1. So that's it for this week. Remember, there's a game tonight, but next week we will see Leicester City and Nottingham Forest playing the 8 p.m. kickoff on Friday. And then on Saturday, there's no 12:30 kickoff game, but Man City hosts Southampton at home. Brentford hosts Ipswich Town at home in 3 p.m. kickoff. Brighton will host Wolverhampton at 3 p.m. as well. And then we'll see Aston Villa host Bournemouth in a 3 p.m. kickoff as well. In the 5:30 p.m. kickoff game, Everton hosts Fulham at Goodison Park. And then on Sunday, we will see 3 games as the clocks go back in England. So what does that mean? There's going to be 3 games at 2 p.m. in the UK, but 3 p.m. in Nigeria time. Crystal Palace hosts Tottenham at Selhurst Park. Chelsea hosts Newcastle at Stamford Bridge. And West Ham hosts Man United at the London Stadium, all at the same time. And then the big one for the weekend at 4:30 p.m. UK time and 5:30 p.m. Nigeria time, Arsenal will host Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. So that'll be a cracking top of the table tie. Arsenal, we already have to win this game because if we lose, we're 7 points behind Liverpool. If we win, the gap is just 1 point. If we draw, it's 4 points after 9 games. So not the end of the world. But you can't win the league at the start of the season, but you can lose the league at the start of the season. So it's very important that Arsenal fix up and get back to winning ways. So what does the table look like? Liverpool is still first with 21 points after 8 games. Man City are second with 20 points, 1 point adrift. And then you have Arsenal and Aston Villa 3 points below Man City in third and fourth with 17 points. Brighton are fifth with 15 points. And then Chelsea round up the top 6 with 14 points. Manchester United, despite their win, remain on 11 points and 11th in the league with a -2 goal difference. But good to see our Nigerian boys climbing. Fulham at 9th, Nottingham Forest at 12th, Leicester City at 14th. So we'll take that. The only one struggling right now a lot is Southampton in 19th. So that's it in terms of the Premier League. Moving on to Serie A, and I want to start with Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze played for AC Milan and started the game as they played in San Siro at home to Udinese. Maduka Okoye's Udinese. Samuel Chukwueze finally ignited. We've been praying for Chukwueze to get something, just something to break his way. And he scored the only goal of this game after a nicely worked goal. I think it was Theo Hernandez drove with the ball. And then he passed the ball to Pulisic. Pulisic, very, very clever, recognized that it was 2 versus 1 and just slipped the ball to the right of Chukwueze, who used his left foot and just caressed it into the bottom left corner. So fantastic goal from Chukwueze and will do his confidence a world of good. You know, he really, really, really needed that goal. So really, really happy for him. So next up for Chukwueze and AC Milan, they will be in action in the Champions League on Tuesday at home against Club Brugge. So Chukwueze versus Rafael Onyedika. And then in the league, they go away to Bologna on Saturday. Speaking of Udinese, Maduka Okoye played that game and made 4 saves. Unlucky to lose, but Udinese remain 8th, which is not the end of the world. AC Milan are 4th, but Udinese will be playing Cagliari at home on Friday. As for Atalanta and Ademola Lookman, the favourite to win the CAF African Footballer of the Year, he played 45 minutes in Atalanta's 2-0 win over Venezia on Sunday. He was pulled after half-time, so I didn't watch this game, so I don't know if he didn't play too well or what the reason for that. But Mario Retegui, the Italian striker of Argentinian descent, he was born and raised in Argentina, continues his hot form. So he's now on 8 goals in Serie and is the outright top goal scorer in the league. Next up, Ademola Lookman, though, Champions League action on Wednesday. They play Celtic at home and then Verona at home on Saturday in Serie A. So that should be a tasty game. As for Osayi Dele-Bashiru, I don't know what he has to do to get into the Lazio manager's good books. He was on new sub in their 1-0 loss to Juventus on Saturday. Is it that Lazio's manager does not watch what Osayi is doing for Nigeria or what he does when he gets his limited opportunities? Anyway, we'll see Osayi Dele-Bashiru probably start away on Thursday in the Europa League as they go away to 20. And then Lazio play at home against Genoa on Sunday. So hopefully he could get some minutes in that game. Moving on to Bundesliga, Victor Boniface played 80 minutes. Initially missed a penalty in the first half. It must be said it was a very, very poor penalty. I'm not sure what he was thinking. But he did redeem himself when it was 1-1. He scored the winning goal, I think it was like the 72nd minute. Really, really good goal as well from Boniface. And I love the mentality of the kid. You know, Nathan Tella came on and played the final 10 minutes in this game. And it was a crucial win for Leverkusen because they played Eintracht Frankfurt, who are doing really well in the league, 2-1. Omar Mamouche scored yet again for Frankfurt, so be aware of that Egyptian guy. But the good thing is Leverkusen get back to winning ways, and next up for them, they play Brest away in the Champions League on Wednesday. Brest have started the Champions League very well, 2 wins from 2. They're currently second in the league phase, even though they've been struggling in the league. So that's going to be a tough tie for Leverkusen, but you would expect that they should win this game. After that, they get back to league fixtures on Saturday where they go away to Werder Bremen. So that'll be a tough game. As for Hoffenheim, Kevin Akpoguma, he played 90 minutes in Hoffenheim's 3-1 win over Bochum on Saturday. So really, really nice to see. And Akpoguma continues to start games for Hoffenheim, even though they're struggling in the league slightly. They also will be in action in the Europa League on Thursday away to FC Porto. And then in the league, they go away to Heidenheim, who have started the season fairly well for a promoted side. And then Frank Onyedika also started and played 85 minutes, although Orban lost 3-1 to Freiburg on Saturday. So Freiburg are one of the teams doing well in the league so far. They're currently I think they're currently 3rd in the league. But Orban, to be fair to Orban, they're going to struggle all season. So at the moment, they're 15th, so they're away from the relegation zone because Bundesliga only has 18 teams, so 16th to 18th are in the relegation zone. But hopefully, we can see from Onyedika get more appearances in winning fixtures and stave off relegation. I'm just happy to see him play. But for example, if Orban are 15th and Onyedika can get called up, I see no reason why Aribo in the Premier League cannot get called up for Southampton. In La Liga, Sevilla's boys got an absolute hammering. They got thrashed 5-1 by Barcelona on Sunday. I mean, Barcelona continues to look very impressive. Very, very sad game, though, for Ejuke. He was taken off what looks like a muscle injury. It looked like his hamstring late in the first half, so not very good news. While Iheanacho is on new sub on the bench, so no surprise there with Iheanacho. Iheanacho is playing with his career, man. He should not be called up for Nigeria. Like, he's supposed to be in his prime. These are supposed to be his prime years, where he should be really outshining and really settling down and doing well, but if Sevilla don't even see the value in starting you, then I'm sorry. This is a much less physical league than the Prem. So Iheanacho, fix up, man. Anyway, let's see what happens with Ejuke's injury. But next up for Sevilla, they play Espanyol away on Friday. As for Crisan's Uche, he played 45 minutes for Getafe in their 1-1 draw against Villarreal on Sunday. He did get a yellow card, but it was a bit of a tricky game, to be fair. And, you know, they'll settle with the points. Getafe have to be careful as well. They're 16th, so they're a bit dangerously close to the relegation zone. Next up for them, though, they play Valencia at home on Sunday. As for Omar Sadiq, he was benched in Real Sociedad's 1-0 win over Girona on Saturday. He's another player that's struggling to get minutes at his club. But let's see if he gets any minutes in the Europa League when they play Maccabi Tel Aviv away on Thursday. And then in the league, they play Osasuna at home on Sunday. So let's see if Omar Sadiq can at least get back into the good books of the Real Sociedad manager. And then finally, in terms of the top 5 leagues in Ligue 1, George Lenkena's Monaco are currently second. He played 64 minutes in their 0-0 draw against Lille on Friday. Hopefully, I mean, they could have tried to win the game, but, you know, if you get a draw against Lille away, like, that's not the end of the world. And they're still second in the league, only behind PSG. They will also be in action in the Champions League on Tuesday tomorrow, where they play Red Star Belgrade at home. Remember, that's Peter Olayinka's team. So you'd expect Monaco to get a win in this one, but let's see how it goes. On Sunday in the league, they will go away to Nice, so that's going to be a tough game, and let's see how they get on in that one. As for Osayi-Samuel and Nantes, they're ninth, and Osayi-Samuel continues to play well for Nantes. He got an assist in a 1-1 draw yesterday against Nice, so Simon continues to show his value and is a star player clearly for Nantes, even though they're not one of the best teams, you may say, in Ligue 1. Next up for them, they play Strasbourg away on Sunday, so let's see if Simon can continue his good form. Montpellier, unfortunately, in the relegation zone. Akko Adams played 90 minutes, but they got absolutely thrashed 5-0 by Marseille on Sunday. I mean, that's just a shocking result. So, Akko Adams, just dust yourself off and go again, my boy, because that is a bad L. But next up for Akko Adams and Montpellier, they played Toulouse at home on Sunday. So hopefully they could get some back to winning ways, or at least getting some points on the board, which would be good for the confidence. As for Gift Urban, I mean, I was really sad to see this one. Gift Urban was no new sub as Lyon beat Le Havre 4-0 away on Sunday yesterday. These are the kind of games where you'd have hoped that Gift Urban could have got some minutes to build his confidence, but he's definitely not in the good books of the manager, safe to say. And I'm really hoping that his career does not stall. So let's see how things shake out between now and January. They will also be in action in the Europa League against Besiktas at home on Thursday. So let's see if Gift Urban can get any minutes in that game. And then they'll play Auxerre at home on Sunday in the league. Speaking of Auxerre, who will be playing Lyon away on Sunday, Gabriel Osho also started in their game on Sunday as they won 2-1 over Reims. So Auxerre are now 12th, which is a good result considering they just got promoted. So long may Gabriel Osho and the team continue the good form. As for Victor Arabco was benched in Nice's 1-1 draw against Nantes on Sunday. Let's see if he can get any minutes when they play Fenerbahce away on Thursday in the Europa League, or if he gets any minutes when they play Monaco at home on Sunday. So that's it in terms of the top 5 leagues in Europe for this weekend. So moving on to the non-top 5 leagues in Europe and other leagues around the world that we cover. Starting with the Belgian League this weekend. Arokodare played 85 minutes and continues to be the top goal scorer in the Belgian League. He got a goal and an assist in Genk's 3-2 win over St. Truden yesterday. Really good performance for them, and they remain top of the league. Next up for them, they go away to play Ghent on Sunday, so that should be a top of table clash between first and third. Speaking of Ghent, Jordan Torunarigha played 90 minutes ago, a yellow card, as they drew 0-0 against Union Saint-Gilloise on Saturday. Ghent will also be in action in the Europa League, so they play Molde at home on Thursday. So let's see if Torunarigha starts that game before they then play Genk at home on Sunday. Let me just double check that if it is the Europa League or Conference League. It's the Conference League, forgive me, not the Europa League. I thought so. So forgive me on that one. But anyway, good luck to Torunarigha. As for Victor Udoh, who plays for Royal Antwerp in second place, he played 2 minutes off the bench in a 1-1 draw over Leuven on Sunday. Next up, they play against Standard Liège at home on Sunday, but it's clear he's pretty much a bench player. As for Onyedika and Club Brugge, the reigning champions, they remain fourth, but he did play 81 minutes and got an assist in their 2-1 win over Westerlo on Saturday. So they're still in touching distance to the top, and it's still early in the season anyway, so nothing to panic about. But next up for them, they play AC Milan away in the Champions League tomorrow night, so that should be a very tasty game, and will definitely test Club Brugge credentials. But they have a chance. The way AC Milan have been playing this season, like, it's definitely not a walkover. And then they'll play Anderlecht at home on Sunday. In the Turkish League, and we got a touch on my boy Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen played 11 minutes, came off the bench. Remember, he was recovering from an injury, a thigh injury, so they're just trying to like nurse him. But the amazing thing about this is that he scored an overhead goal. He scored an overhead kick as Galatasaray beat 3-0 and beat Antalyaspor 3-0 on Saturday. He had the ball in the net a minute after coming off the bench initially, but that goal got disallowed. But what a way to make amends by scoring what a wonderful bicycle kick. Osimhen is too good for the Turkish League. We all know this. So I just want him to run up the scores. Keep dominating the Turkish League. Galatasaray are top of the league. So win the league. See what you can do in Europa, and let's get cracking next summer and see where you end up. So in the Europa League, they'll be playing against Elfsborg at home on Wednesday, and then they play the big one against Besiktas at home on Monday, where you'd expect Osimhen to start the game. As for Osayi-Samuel and Fenerbahce, he's still injured and will be expected back in early November. So he's going to miss the game against Manchester United on Thursday. And then David Okereke finally in Turkey. He played 90 minutes and scored a goal as Gaziantep's 2-2 draw against Kayserispor on Saturday. So good to see him getting back in on the goals. And let's see if he starts again as they play Konyaspor at home on Sunday. In the Scottish League, we saw Cyril Deserts and Rangers lose at home to Kilmarnock. I mean, just a shocking performance, to be honest. They don't even deserve our coverage. But yeah, good luck to them in the Europa League. Let's see how they play against FCSB at home on Thursday. In Czech Republic, Igor Ogbo is still injured, but I wanted to talk about Victor Olatunji, who's playing for Sparta Prague in the Champions League. He played only 14 minutes in a 2-1 win on Saturday, but we know he's been starting in the Champions League. And on Wednesday, they have their biggest potential game. They play away against Manchester City in the Champions League, so that's going to be a tough game for Sparta Prague and Victor Olatunji. So let's see if he can give a good account of himself. And then they play another top-of-the-table clash against Victoria Pilsen away on Sunday, so look out for that game. As for Peter Olayinka and Red Star Belgrade, he played 90 minutes ago and assisted their 5-1 win over Radniki Nis on Friday. Remember, he's going to be in action against Monaco away tomorrow in the Champions League, so that's going to be a great game to watch. So look out for that one. And then finally, in the PSL in South Africa, Stanley Nwabali was not in action over the weekend. I'm not sure if he was injured or if his team did not play. But Chippa United remain fourth and they play Stellenbosch away on Wednesday. And then they play Lamontville Golden Arrows at home on Saturday. One thing to also call out is Ahmed Musa scored again for Kano Pillars in a 1-1 draw against Kwara United over the weekend. So it's good to see that Ahmed Musa continues to play well. I mean, let's be honest, he's too good for the Nigerian Premier League, which is why it's been really scratching my head that he's not been able to get a team in Europe properly for the past 2 or 3 years or hold down any semblance of a starting position in any meaningful league in Europe. But it's good that Musa is bringing the eyeballs to the MPFL. He's by far the most important player playing in the league. And fair play to him. He continues to show out and shows why. I mean, he's much better than defenders in the league, so no surprise there. Other Nigerian news to be aware about, the Nigeria under-17 women beat Ecuador 4-0 in their second game of the World Cup campaign. So they've now won both of their games 4-1 and 4-0 and have definitely qualified for the quarterfinals. Their final game is against Dominican Republic, 12 a.m. on basically tomorrow night, at midnight tomorrow night, against Dominican Republic, who we should pretty much whitewash and get 3 out of 3 wins. So it must be said the Nigeria team are definitely favorites for this under-17 tournament. So long may the good news continue for the girls. Star boy of the week, bronze medal. I have to give it to Victor Osimhen. When you come on and play 11 minutes and you score a fantastic bicycle kick goal. He also said in an interview that he's always wanted to score an overhead kick goal. So really nice to see for Victor Osimhen, our star player. So long may his good performances continue. We should see him start in the Europa League on Thursday, hopefully, and also start against Besiktas. So keep up the great work, Victor Osimhen. Victor Boniface, he continues to dominate the Bundesliga. We just have to give Victor Boniface props. Like, this is a guy that, despite his struggles for the national team, still looking for his first Super Eagles goal. He's in and amongst the goals. Yes, Umar has 9 goals in the Bundesliga, but Victor Boniface has 5 goals in 7 games. No penalties. So literally, a lot of strikers are doing really well to start the season in the Bundesliga. You have Omar Mamouche on 9 goals, Kane on 8 goals, and then there's about 5 players on 5 goals, including Boniface. So long may he continue the great form. And Bayer Leverkusen are back to winning ways. So when you score the winner, especially after dusting yourself off after missing a penalty, we have to give you credit. So shout out to you, Victor Boniface. You get the silver medal. Gold medal. I have to give some props to Samuel Chukwueze, man. He's been struggling. He's been needing a break. He signed for AC Milan and we said, yes, he's moving to a big club. He's playing in Serie, he's playing in the big league for one of the most storied franchises or clubs in football. And yet, it took him so long to ignite. Last season, he didn't really have a good season at all. Yes, he did score in the Champions League. And this season, he's also struggled to start the season and he just needed a break to come. So when you're able to score the winning goal against Udinese, who've been doing well in the league, and it was also a cracking finish as well, just to get himself and his confidence going again, I'm really, really happy for Samuel Chukwueze, and hopefully he can now kick on from this performance and scoring this goal in the Serie, and let's see how he performs in the Champions League this week and also in Serie moving forward. So Samuel Chukwueze, you get the gold medal. You are the star boy of the week. Keep up the great work. And just to round up the podcast with the ones to watch, European football is back this week. So tomorrow, remember, George Lenny Kenna's Monaco play against Peter Olayinka's Red Star Belgrade at home. We then see AC Milan Samuel Chukwueze play at home against Rafa Onyedika's club Bruges. And then also we'll see Elvis Isaac of Slovan Bratislava go away to play Girona in the Champions League, although it's very unlikely he'll get many minutes. Also on Wednesday, we'll see Ademola Lookman's Atalanta host Celtic at home in the Champions League. You'd expect them to get 3 points from this game. Victor Boniface and Nathan Tella's Bayer Leverkusen will be in action away to Brest. So you'd expect them to get 3 points, but it's going to be a very, very tough game in this one. Victor Olatunji's Sparta Prague will be in action away at the Etihad Stadium playing Manchester City. So expect a loss, but hopefully give a good account of himself. On that same Wednesday, Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray will play Elfsborg in the Europa League. So look out for that one. On Thursday, we'll see Kevin Akpoguma's Hoffenheim play away against FC Porto. Omar Sadiq's Real Sociedad will play away against Maccabi Tel Aviv. These are all Europa League fixtures. Gift Urban's Lyon will host Besiktas at home in the Europa League. Victor Rabko's Nice will go away against Ferencvaros in the Europa League as well. And then we'll see brighter Osayi-Samuel's Fenerbahce play against Man United, but we know he's injured in that one. Iwobi is also injured for Slavia Prague, but they'll also be in action in the Europa League away at Athletic Bilbao. And in the Conference League, we'll see Jordan Torunarigha's Ghent play at home against Molde of Sweden. On Friday and weekend football-wise, Wilfred Ndidi's Leicester will play at home against Tawa Awoniyi and Ola Aina's Nottingham Forest. That should be a cracking game. And then on Saturday, we'll see Aribo Southampton come to the Etihad Stadium to play Manchester City. That should be a whitewash, but hopefully Aribo can play well. And then on Sunday, to round up the games, we'll see Victor Rabko's Nice play Jeleni Monaco. Christian's Uche's Getafe will host Valencia at home in the league. Gift Urban's Lyon will be at home against Gabriel Osho's Auxerre, so hopefully we can see Gift Urban get some minutes in this game. And then we'll see a top-of-table clash in Belgium where Jordan Torunarigha's Ghent will be at home against Genk, where Arokodare and Irasour play their football. And then on Monday, we'll see our star player Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray host Besiktas at home in one of the big Istanbul derbies as well. So that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks again for rocking with me. Please, if you listen on YouTube, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on every social media platform except on Twitter, where we're at NFWPOD. Please continue to run it up. Enjoy all the football this week, and hopefully we'll have another array of Nigerian players performing well like we've seen this week. Until next time, take care, peace out, and enjoy all the football. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeria, they ever carry last.